Dragging family into a debate isn't an argument. It's cowardice masquerading as politics. Senator John Neely Kennedy said, his voice low but resolute, slicing through the studio's charged air like a blade. The words hung heavy, a verdict delivered under the white-hot studio lights as the cameras zoomed in on a stunned Nancy Pelosi. The audience, caught off guard, let out a collective gasp that echoed through the packed room. Reporters in the press row froze mid-scribble, their pens hovering above notepads. The control room, buzzing with producers and floor managers, fell into a tense hush. That single sentence, spoken with calm precision, wasn't just a response. It was the opening salvo of a confrontation that would unravel on live television, leaving no one in the room untouched. But how did it come to this? What led to this moment where a seasoned politician like Pelosi found herself pinned under the weight of her own words, and Kennedy, ever composed, took control of the narrative without raising his voice? The stage was set in a sleek modern studio, its raised platform lined with 4 chairs under glaring lights that made every gesture visible to millions. Rows of cameras, like silent sentinels, framed the edges of the set, their red lights blinking in rhythm with the ticking segment clock. Behind a thick glass wall, producers waved hand signals, their headsets crackling with urgent whispers. The show, billed as a no-holds-barred roundtable on ethics in politics, had been hyped for days. Promos teased a clash between Nancy Pelosi, a political titan known for her sharp rhetoric, and Senator John Neely Kennedy, a figure celebrated for his incisive questioning and unshakable calm. Viewers at home, scrolling through their feeds or flipping channels, tuned in expecting sparks. They weren't disappointed. The segment opened with the band playing a quick, punchy sting, signaling the start of the debate. Nancy Pelosi, seated at the center of the panel, adjusted her notes with the confidence of someone who'd navigated countless high-stakes debates. Her tailored suit gleamed under the lights, and her practiced smile projected authority. Across from her, at the far end of the platform, sat Kennedy, his dark suit crisp, a slim folder resting on his knees. His expression was unreadable, his hands folded calmly, as if he were waiting for something inevitable. The moderator, a seasoned anchor with a knack for stirring tension, introduced the topic ethics in political lobbying. The audience clapped on cue, and the cameras panned across the panelists, capturing their poised expressions. Pelosi took the lead, her voice steady and commanding. She launched into a critique of lobbying practices, weaving in pointed jabs at Kennedy's voting record. Some senators, she said, her tone clipped, seem more interested in protecting corporate interests than serving the public. The audience murmured, a few clapping lightly. Reporters in the press row jotted down corporate interests with quick strokes. The band played a brief sting, and the split-screen feed showed Pelosi's animated gestures, contrasting with Kennedy's stillness. He didn't interrupt. He didn't flinch. His eyes stayed fixed on her as if measuring every word. The anchors off stage whispered, "He's letting her," run, their voices muffled, but caught by a nearby mic. Pelosi, sensing her momentum, leaned into her argument. She rattled off statistics about lobbying dollars, her hands slicing the air for emphasis. "The system rewards those who play the game," she said, "and Senator Kennedy's votes show he's a player." The audience chuckled politely, prompted by the floor manager's subtle nod. The cameras caught Kennedy's lips twitching, not into a smile, but something closer to patience. He adjusted his folder slightly, a small motion that went unnoticed by most, but caught the eye of a sharp-eyed producer. "He's waiting?" the producer muttered into her headset. The segment clock ticked past 3 minutes, and the debate seemed to be following its scripted rhythm, sharp, but safe, edgy, but controlled. Then came the pivot. Pelosi, emboldened by the audience's response, shifted her tone. Her voice took on a biting edge, and she leaned forward, eyes narrowing. And maybe she said, pausing for effect, if Senator Kennedy spent less time posturing in hearings and more time at home, his wife might teach him a thing or two about integrity. The words landed like a thunderclap. The audience gasped before she even finished the sound, sharp and involuntary. The band's sticks hovered above the snare, but didn't strike. The laughter that had punctuated her earlier jabs died mid-breath. In the control room, producers leaned forward, eyes glued to the monitors. She went there. One whispered, her voice tight. The cameras swiveled, catching the split screen, Pelosi's confident smirk faltering for a fraction of a second, and Kennedy still motionless, his face a mask of calm. Mentioning a guest's family on live television wasn't a jab, it was a detonator. Once pressed, the countdown ran on its own.